You hear over and over in the world of success and personal development, the two keys, I've read them hundreds of times, discipline and focus, discipline and focus, discipline and focus. And while I think these things are wonderful and you are going to need them, they don't actually work without two things that I actually think come before them in the foundation of getting where you want to go and experience success. And number one is character. Character. And there's all sorts of different ways to define character. One of my favorites is John Wooden's, who he says, character is who you are when no one else is looking. I think that's a very clear way of putting it. That's the one I'm going with. But operating from a place of character creates trust, right? Because people get this feel that you are authentic, you are the real you, you are the same you everywhere you go. You treat people with respect, whether they can do anything for you, whether they can't, whether it's just who you are. You have this high character. You're looking to give to others, not just take. You're kind, you're generous. You're the things that kind of come to mind with being a good person. You have that high character. That's gonna impact everything. I don't care how disciplined you are. I don't care if you set your alarm for 3:30 in the morning and you get to work. If you are what I would call a low character individual, and that's somebody who's the opposite of everything I mentioned, right? That the end result is that it's a lack of trust that is developed through not being counted on. Their word means nothing. They say they'll do something or be somewhere and they don't do it. They give off this vibe, basically through these instincts that we have as people, like, hey, I got to be a little bit on guard with this person. I'm not really sure what they mean to get from this relationship, or what's going on here. So I'm gonna kind of be on guard. And when you have that, I don't care what business you're in, if that's the vibe you're giving off, it's going to be very, very hard to experience success, even with discipline and focus. That is the foundation of everything in my mind. But then what's going to filter on through your character, I think it's directly linked, is your communication, how you communicate, right? And that's far beyond just the words that you use. Your character, who you truly are, your authentic self, is always going to come out in your words, but also your actions, your body language, and things like that. And ultimately, what it's going to do is it's gonna be about how you make people feel. You're going to make people feel a certain way. You're going to make them feel better. You're going to make them feel worse. You're going to make them feel encouraged and optimistic, negative and pessimistic, on and on it goes. And this comes out character in your communication. And now we're going on to how you make people feel, right? So your communication, again, I don't care how disciplined you are in other areas of your life. It's not going to matter if you're not making people feel the way that they need to feel to experience success. You cannot be an island in business and life. Your success is going to come through other people, right? I run a fitness business. If it's empty, well, I don't get to run that business anymore. I don't get to experience success with helping people with life transformation, financially providing for my family, achieving personal goals. I don't get to do that if there's no people there. I can't do it on my own. It doesn't matter how nice the equipment is. And a big part of this, I've realized, is how you make people feel. If your communication skills are high, you're gonna do more listening than talking. In my mind, the best reminder for that is you have two ears and you have one mouth, right? You should be listening at least twice as much as you're talking in conversation. That's going to make people feel cared for if you're actually truly listening, not just zoning out, which is a topic for another time because I want to keep this short. All right. But your listening skills is going to make people feel whether they're valued and cared for or whether they're not. If you're doing all the talking yourself, you want to tell people about your life, your desires, your kids, your things. People spend their whole life doing this. You could probably think of a few names that this is how they do it. And what do? Do you run across the street to go say hi to them? Do you want to really spend a lot of time with these people? No, I don't think so, right? So their level of success right there, they can't connect with other people. That character and that connection is going to be the big things that have to be there to achieve success. Before then, you move on to discipline and you move on to focus and you move on to all these other things, which still have value for sure. But I just feel not enough people are talking about character and communication. And just myself, being nearly deaf, it's like I've had to become honed in communication because I've had no choice. I feel things, like I said, beyond words, like body language, getting a feel from other people, paying attention to their cues. This is a skill. This is a gift. This is something we need because you can see in body language how you're making someone feel, whether they're on guard, whether they're nervous, whether they're comfortable, whether they enjoy being around you. On and on it goes. So at the end of the day, who are you when no one else is around? Are you that person everywhere else you go? Is my challenge for you. And communication. Are you listening? Or are you talking? Do you care about people around you? How would you say you are with body language, with reading body language, and even being able to kind of have a feel for what's on people's minds? If you can make people comfortable instantly, and you come off as someone who's authentic and trustworthy because you are, and you make people feel better after they've been with you than they were before they came and had some communication with you, then the sky's the limit. Then you can put all the rest of the stuff to use, but those two things will always come first. Don't forget it.